Hello there everyone, welcome back to James Redmond TV, and that's an intro for the Manx who might be tuning into this video, or not, because who wants to tune into a Scouser talking about your team after you've just got absolutely bummed by Spurs 2-0. It's fine, because Liverpool have not been great either in recent time, so before you all do your inserts to make yourself feel better, like, oh my goodness James, your team's crap, so fine, we haven't got a CDM, fine, McTominay would walk into our team, otherwise, you guys are in a bit of a crazy spell, you know? Reason being, you play really poor against Wolves. And also, I question the talent identification from Erik Ten Hag. Now, I never watched too much of the game. I did see the highlights. I saw the goals and stuff like this. That's not even here what I'm to talk about. Manchester United, just overall, generally have not been good enough. I question the attack. I certainly question Højlund, only on the premise that overall, when he does come into the team fully, because listen, he's still new to the team and all these things and whatever have you. I actually can't even remember if he played today or not. But that being said, when he does start to play regularly and he becomes that mainstay in the team, what's now going to happen is you're going to notice the inconsistencies and inexperience when it comes to being a Premier League striker. And I think because that was a Ten Hag identified player, he might come to regret the fact that that was the player he chose to be up front. Maybe not, maybe he'll be boss. Can't write him off one game. I'm just saying I doubt the signing in the short term. I can never conclude the long term because I need to see more of him. And overall as well with Tottenham, they've lost a couple of key players, and I felt Manchester United going into this game had to be the ones to win the game. Reason being is because when you consider the window, Onana, a lot of fans consider that to be an upgrade on De Gea, right? And then also you consider the fact that you've got a World Cup winner and a Champions League winner at centre-back. You consider you've got Casemiro at CDM. You've got one of the best midfielders to ever grace the Premier League in Bruno, according to a lot of Man United fans. And then you've got Money Mace, who, was literally given the number 7 by your manager. So whether you rate him or you don't, the manager does. And that's why now, okay, if Manchester United fans who are to have a sincere conversation about their club, they now either need to question the signings that they've made, which in turn falls back on the manager, because the manager is the one who's had the heavy influence on making these signings. When Ten Hag has said, let's go for this one, he's been given the player. So for instance, Frankie de Jong, he never joined United because he didn't want to join Man United. It weren't anything to do with the fact Man United weren't willing to get Frankie de Jong, but it was because he turned it down because he wanted to stay at Barca. But when he went in for Mount, what did he get? He got Mason Mount. When he wanted Casemiro, he got Casemiro. Same with Lisandro Martinez and all these other players as well. The reason why that's important is because he's been given the resources, and now it seems like he's investing it into the wrong place. Now, what I want to do as well, and I genuinely want your engagement, I'm not just trying to be thought-provoking, I'm simply just giving you a perspective about the comparison of what he was a good manager at Ajax and then what he is now at Manchester United. Now, let's analyse the roles, right? So people can be managers in various jobs, but the roles are different, and the things they have to do is different. You might have more support in one job than another. Now, at Ajax, he had the best team, the best resources that country had to offer. Any players he would like from that league, he could get players from that league. Any top players who are maybe finished in the top 5 leagues would now go to Ajax, for instance, Dusan Tadic, and he went there and was a top-class player who massively contributed to them winning league titles. And Ten Hag was a great tactical coach, the same way he's still a great tactical coach. He makes Man United very difficult to beat at home, and he sets out a good team defensively. I think that he's very versatile when it comes to his managerial approach, but I think when you give that man control, which he had less of at Ajax, it's not that he had no control, but he had a free academy to give him superstars every single season, and he had the funds to go out there and get what was no-brainers when you consider the quality and the competition in the Eredivisie. The quality and the competition in this league is so much different. You've got teams who are financially superior to Manchester United, not many, but you can throw Chelsea in there and Man City in there. That's now 2 teams who are financially superior to that football club in terms of how much they spent and have spent in recent time. And Man United, but let's not get confused. Man United themselves are not financially inferior. They are a massively financial superior team in terms of resources, being able to buy players, being able to offer wages. They can offer insane wages to a player who's barely even done anything, i.e. Højlund. So that's why I'm sitting there saying that Ten Hag's been given what he needs, he's been given what he wants, and it just has not worked. So when do United fans sit there and say, although this man's won me a trophy, although this man, I believe, can do us a job, he has got a lot of things wrong recently. And these signings I'm not too encouraged by. Now, some United fans will sit there and say, well, listen, James, you're overreacting. It's 2 games into the season. Wait until the end. But then, at the same time, I'll say, well, what's your evidence to support that Ten Hag and what he's done is going to be good? Because Mason Mount in recent time hasn't been great. Onana, I don't think he comes in and makes you a league. I don't think he's a league-winning goalkeeper in any way. I think he's a really good goalkeeper, though. I just don't see United having a league winning team or even a second place team. And that's not me being biased because I'm a Liverpool fan, it's just genuinely what I see. And even when I see Manchester United's performances, it's exactly what I see. I watched the Wolves game, I didn't watch as much of the Spurs game, I'll admit. But listen, overall, I think it's important to identify United are not possibly on this upward trajectory like they thought they were going to be. Last season they finished third. Well, now they've got the prospect of Liverpool potentially being a top 4 team again. Chelsea potentially putting themselves in those top 4 conversations. Newcastle, Aston Villa have only gone and improved. So not that they have to fear Newcastle and Aston Villa. It's just more points that can be dropped throughout the season because those teams have got better, which overall can decrease the amount of their points tally. And even if they increase their points tally and those teams get better, like who I mentioned, Chelsea, Liverpool, well, it doesn't even matter, because even though they were third, they were so far off second, they might as well have been fifth. So that's why I'm sitting there saying, although Ten Hag did great, there's a lot of things he's done wrong, and I just simply want to ask, is it worrying in any way, shape or form? Is it concerning? I don't fear Ten Hag. Maybe not, because I don't look into the football club like you do. But don't you think it's a little bit concerning, someone who's an enemy of the football club, the same way I wanted Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to stay? I don't mind if Ten Hag remains in control at Man United. It could change in 12 months if they get these Arab owners and next thing you know, they're spending money left, right and centre and Ten Hag gets even more resources. But let's say Ten Hag remains in control of acquiring the resources. He might not have the finances to give, but say he's given the finances, he chooses the players. Well, I'm fine with that, because from what I've seen so far, his talent ID is certainly one to be questioned, and that's why I think if you're a United fan, you've got to be sceptical about his talent ID. Because let's think about it as well. If you don't like the balance of Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro, well, who are you going to drop? You're not going to be able to move Mason Mount to the left wing because, one, he's not a left winger. Two, if he can do a job there, like maybe some people believe, he's certainly not a Rashford at left wing. And Højlund's got to get into the team somehow. So if anyone's going to be replaced for this new CDM or new centre mid who's going to come to the club, even though there's been halts on people like Amrabat and stuff like that, Mason Mount will probably be the first one dropped. Bruno's the captain, he won't get dropped. Casemiro's a leader, he's boss, he's not going to get dropped. Mason Mount could. Who's the replacement? I think Fred gives Manchester United a greater balance than what they get right now with Mason Mount and Bruno in the midfield. I think Mason Mount is certainly overhated. I'd say this as well. But I don't think he's a league winner. And I think when people hear people say he's not a league winner, well, he's never won the league, and even though he's won a Champions League, it's still one to be questioned if he can do that on a 38-game a season basis. Can he do it week in, week out, as opposed to just the big stages, which some players save themselves for? So listen, I'm not hating on Man United, I'm not hating on Mason Mount. I do think it's hilarious that he's got battered by Tottenham. That being said, on a Tottenham standpoint, it was really, really good. They seem like they're better. I like Postecoglou. I think he's going to implement a good philosophy, style, atmosphere within the dressing room, which is important for Tottenham. And then overall, it was a great result. So listen, what do you think about the things that I've spoke about in this video? Do you think that this is going to cause some sort of friction? But also bear in mind that Man United did have a bad start last season. So you never know. This could be just a bad start and then eventually they find their form. Once Ten Hag's fully implemented this system and made the changes that's required, we might start to see results like last season. And I think United again would take top 4 in the trophy. I do. But then we need to start asking, well, when's the improvement? When's the United get better? Because right now it doesn't seem that way. But anyway, smash a like. If you don't like it, then smash a dislike, and then let me know in the comments down below why you didn't like the video. I think that's always important. But yeah, man, much love to you and your mothers, and I'll see you all in a bit. Peace.